Charles Mars. I am the CEO of Glasgow City Mission. And this has been a tough year, a really tough year for everybody. And we also know that the implications of how difficult this year has been will not really have worked through the system for some time to come. So we can only imagine how things are going to be. And of course, as difficult as it's been for you and for me and for everyone else, the marginalised people of our nation, of every nation, will have increasing pressures. And as we've seen recently in the press, signs of what it means to be socially alienated, alienated from yourself, alienated from communities, the need for people to connect with other people is extraordinary. So to that end, Glasgow City Mission has always been a mission to the people of Glasgow. It continues to be that. We've got an incredible staff team, as many of you will know already. The teams have been creative, adapting continually to all of the pressures and demands and the needs of our people. The Children and Family Centre have continued to provide services in Linthouse and Govan. Our overnight welcome centre has adapted beyond recognition, and our city centre team continue to provide food and advocacy for the most vulnerable people in the city.
Following the lockdown announcement back in March 2020, we took the difficult decision to close our services with immediate effect. Prior to this, our city centre hub was a bustling hive of activity with over 250 people accessing our services each day. Many of these people were vulnerable, homeless, lonely, struggling with mental health, or were simply looking for what may have been the only hot meal they would have had that day. Unsure of how to proceed, but convinced that doing nothing wasn't an option, we gathered as many addresses and phone numbers as we could, and our staff with a team of volunteers began phoning each of our guests just to check in and make sure they were doing okay. We started delivering food packages to those who were really struggling and arranged socially distant walks with guests to retain that sense of human connection. Like all of us, many of our guests have really struggled throughout lockdown, and we are constantly working to improve the support and services we're able to bring our guests while ensuring adherence to the ever-changing guidelines. We were able to offer one-to-one counselling service to our guests. This has become invaluable, as many of those people we work with live in isolation and don't have anybody they can really talk to. We currently have 11 teams each week heading out to the streets, linking in with cities begging and rough sleeping communities, and are regularly working with the council to get these people into long-term accommodation. We're meeting guests on a regular basis across Zoom and have managed to continue our weekly gathering service online, where many of our staff, volunteers and guests would formally meet together, share food and hear a message from the Bible. We offer an advocacy service where anybody looking for assistance with housing, benefits, seeking asylum or anything else can meet one of our team for a one-to-one meeting. And finally, we've managed to continue to provide hot meals through our takeaway only door service. Food has always been something we've seen as hugely important in allowing us to connect and build relationships with our guests, and it's been important for us as a team to retain that sense of connection, even if it's only through a window.
One of the core ministries at Glasgow City Mission has always been hospitality. We really believe that sitting down with somebody over a meal creates the best environment to build a lasting relationship. Before lockdown, we were serving around 1,000 meals each week across 9 different drop-ins and focused on providing a safe space for people from all backgrounds to come inside and eat, have a chat, and if it was needed, take the opportunity to get support from our teams for more pressing issues. Through this initial connection made over food, we were able to support people through homelessness with getting into rehab centres, mental health problems, or sometimes people would just come for a simple conversation and valued being part of a loving community and enjoyed the social aspect of sharing a meal with friends. We're currently seeing dozens of people come down each day for their breakfast and lunch, and despite not being able to open our building to allow people to sit inside, it's reassuring for us to know that these people are still able to come down, get a bacon roll, a cup of tea and a hot, filling and nutritious meal freshly prepared each day. Many of our guests live in accommodation with limited cooking equipment or don't possess the knowledge or finance to be able to prepare something wholesome and healthy for themselves. For the first time this year, we've also started providing food for the new overnight welcome centre. Formerly the winter night shelter, guests were previously just provided with a night's accommodation, then asked to leave. This year, we've been able to offer guests a private bedroom and an evening meal. This makes a massive difference to the dignity of the individual who essentially has nothing. and again provides us with the opportunity to build a relational and lasting connection with the individual as they navigate what is often the most difficult period of their lives.
We know that this year has drastically changed a lot of things due to COVID, and the winter night shelter has evolved into the overnight welcome centre. We are currently based in a city centre hotel in Glasgow. When our guests arrive, they are given their own bedroom, their own space. They have a bed, they have a TV, and they have a bathroom inside their bedroom. They are also provided with a home-cooked meal, which is currently cooked down at our city centre base on Crimea Street. It's meant that we know that they are getting a good, nutritious meal. We know that people have struggled, and it's actually a really good way for us to link in with our guests and make sure they are doing okay over a nice hot plate of food. We have also moved to a 24-hour service. It has advanced us even further in the support that we can provide our guests, and we have day staff who are working in order to link our guests in with the appropriate partners in our city to see them moved into positive outcomes. We work currently with over 20 partners, and our team during the day are making sure that our guests are being put into places that are appropriate for them, and if it takes a little bit longer, that is okay because we know that the guest needs the support.
I'm Pam Maelstrom. I'm one of the Housing Settlement Officers for Glasgow City Mission. Our role is really to go on the journey with guests after they have left the overnight welcome centre. So as they are placed in tenancies or temporary flats or accommodation, we will go and visit them. We will link in with their caseworkers, with other support organisations to help show love, care and concern for them wherever possible, because we find, particularly in COVID, that people are placed without friends, without community, without people they know, and they are lonely and isolated. And so a big part of our job is about connection, it's about loving, it's about caring, it's about ongoing concern for these people. This is the first year that Glasgow City Mission have had this role, and it was created because there was a recognition that we lost contact with people after they came to the night shelter. We didn't know where they went, and quite often we would see them returning year after year to the shelter. And so this is our opportunity to go with and travel with people and see where they go and support them so they don't hopefully end up back with us the following year.
So similar to the City Centre project, our Child and Family Centre had to close following the lockdown announcements last March. Before lockdown, we were running regular activities for families, such as parent and toddler groups, coffee mornings, groups for dads, after school clubs and fitness classes. However, all of this came to a standstill, and we became very aware how this new period of isolation could affect the families that we work with. We wanted to be proactive in maintaining a connection with our families, so we began to make weekly phone calls, connected with them via email, and sustained our sense of community through regular Facebook posts. We also created learning packs to aid in assisting parents with educating their children over Zoom and delivered them to the houses, along with groceries and vouchers to supermarkets as they were required. As lockdown eased a little, we began to meet parents for a one-to-one socially distanced walk and ran a really successful family holiday club during the summer in Elder Park, where we welcomed at least 80 mums, dads and children each day. It was really important for us to be able to welcome both familiar and new faces to the park. We wanted to provide a safe space for people to socialise and engage with one another that wasn't on a computer screen. To us, it's been imperative that we're able to find ongoing methods of connecting with the families that we work with, as we know that many parents have struggled with this lockdown and homeschooling children, or even going to the shops to buy groceries. It's also been very important that we've been able to continue building the relationships that we had before lockdown with the parents and the children, and maintain that sense of human connection that keeps us all sane. Reopening our nursery, and it's been fantastic to see the children come back, to see the joy in their faces and see them playing with their friends again. The numbers are limited at the moment due to the restrictions, but we've had a glimpse of our community coming back together.